It's time for another From review. This one was called Scar Tissue, but it left a few scars on us because it wasn't. It's very impressive. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, and it was another disappointing episode from. I felt like in episode 4 we had some good stuff. You had the ending with Randall being attacked. They didn't really follow up much in episode 5. Therefore, I believed that episode 6 was going to be a good episode, because sometimes From does that. Sometimes you get, a not so good episode followed by a good episode, and then obviously we seen Dale stuck in the wall, and I was just kind of intrigued to see what we were going to get next. But in all honesty, what we got next was just a big bag of nothing. We got another domestic argument between Jim and Tabitha. We got an ultrasound that just didn't really give us any answers. Oh, you're not pregnant. I thought we were going to get something interesting. Is there something wrong with the baby? Is the baby a monster? And now there is no baby, and I'm sure that we will have a follow-up on that in future episodes. We have Victor once again going down underground without really revealing, like, oh, this is dangerous, Dad. You can't come along. Why can't Victor actually communicate? Why can't the guy speak to the people that are trapped there and say, look, I think we need to go down here. This could be the key to getting out. But again, it's just Victor going on these little lonely missions, and like, what is anything achieving here? Not a lot. And it was Boyd didn't do much in this episode. We had more Jade stuff where he's trying to break the code. He's getting the bottles, he's getting the numbers. Just a lot of shite that we've already seen previously, but nothing new really being added to the mix.
Yeah, they put no effort in. I feel like putting no effort in the review, but I tell you what, I thought it was the worst episode of the show. I think it was absolute.
Oh, worst episode of the show.
Yes, I think it. I
don't know. I mean, season 2, there was.
There was nothing. There was nothing.
It's probably in the top. But it's probably it's definitely in the bottom 10 episodes of the show.
There's 26 episodes.
I'd say maybe in the bottom 6. Probably.
I think it was the worst episode for me. Here, maybe recency bias, whatever. But I mean, honestly, what actually happened?
I tell you what, it was worse than any episode from season 1. I think it's the worst episode of this season.
And there was some good episodes in season 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's I would need to rewatch season 2, and I don't really want to do that. But I agree, it was one of the worst episodes so far.
It was just like see, when an episode's best part is Jim and Tabitha arguing, you're in for a bad episode. I actually thought this was a fine opener.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed the little domestic between the two of them. Nice to see Jim actually show a bit of passion for once.
Yeah,
la passion, because a lot of times you see Jim, and honestly, kind of just doesn't seem like he cares. They're arguing though once again over Thomas or their dead son. It's like, move on already. I think you have bigger fish to fry.
Is there not bigger fish? Is there not bigger problems? What about your two current kids?
I mean, Thomas is already dead. Like Ethan's nearly died. Julie's currently, I believe, possessed by something. You're trapped in this fucking town. Tabitha managed to escape. She somehow got back. Rather than focusing on how to escape or focusing on the two kids that are alive, they're going to argue over who was there for who, and who was the better parent when their dead child was passed. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think what summed this episode up was Jim getting stuck in the bed covers.
Yeah, Jim's trying to get out of bed to argue with Tabitha, and his legs kind of get tangled, and it's just, it kind of summed him up, really. Just not really.
Jimmy and his Jimmy Jams just getting stuck, man. He was in a jam,
It felt like he was. It felt more like a flashback, didn't it? It felt like something you'd expect to see earlier, timeline-wise.
It was just fucking weird, but let's move on, because it was alright, but then the intro hit, and it was like, we forgot about it. Yeah, I mean, Julie was like, I've heard it all before, Mom. Boyd pays a visit to Colony House. Ellis and Fatima, they're panicking. What are we going to do? And then they tell Boyd, and Boyd's like, oh, it just happens that there's a portable ultrasound machine on that ambulance.
At first, Fatima doesn't want to do anything. I can't tell Boyd, can't tell Christy. We can't go to the ultrasound. It's like, if you think there's something wrong, then you have to. You can't put it off. I mean, I get you maybe not wanting to hear the news, but like, it was just dumb. Well, what's the long-term plan here? Oh, I think there's something seriously wrong with the baby, so let's do nothing.
Yeah, and this isn't the real world. I mean, fuck knows what could happen to the baby or happen to you. I mean, if it's the real world, I mean, worst case scenario, you lose the baby in here, man. It's like...
So they go to the ultrasound because all that stuff was found on the ambulance, and it turns out there is no baby. Fatima gets pissed off with Christy. Christy says, look, there's nothing there. But Fatima insists that she's pregnant. Now, does the ultrasound not pick up the baby? Does that mean the baby's not got a beating heart? Does that mean the baby's like one of the monsters? I mean, we did see... I mean, we seen Boyd when he took that monster and dissected it in season 2. Maybe it just doesn't show up as a living life form inside of Fatima. But is she pregnant with something? I mean, I would have to assume so, because if she's not, then why is she and all that? Is there something wrong with her? I think she is.
I can't even remember though when she announced she was pregnant, or how did she even know?
Yeah, it was a pregnancy test or something. I would assume that she is, and it's just not a living baby she's got inside her. That's the direction I think they're going.
And it can't be picked up.
But rather than reveal it this episode, it looks like they're dragging it out into the next episode.
And that's the from way.
Yeah, because, you know, we've had pretty much the entire season there where we knew something was up, but we still haven't found out, and we're into the second half of the season. So yeah, they're just not really revealing much. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get the reveal until it's fucking the penultimate or final episode.
Well, the last 2 episodes are called Revelations, so maybe to reveal something would be in Revelations. I mean, as for the promo next week, we've got Boyd screaming at Christy like, "Oh, why don't you figure it out?" Like it's not her fucking fault. I think Boyd's turned into a bit of a whiny bitch this season.
Yeah, I don't think he's not doing much for me. He really is not. We have Kenny. He asked to move into the colony house with Donna. I think he wants one of the big sex parties. That's what he's going for. So he's going to move in there. He doesn't think that he should be taking up a house anymore because his family's dead. It's kind of sad. I mean, Kenny's all right, like, but he's not doing. He's a killable character, isn't he?
It feels like, I don't know. It's almost like the death of his mother's just been completely forgotten of it. I feel like his father had a much bigger impact.
Fucking Dale got a bigger send off, like.
No, I did. Dale gets a bunch of rocks and put in front of him, never to be seen again. Right, Victor and Henry go into the tunnels. They find the doll that belonged to former resident Christopher, but then they awaken some creatures. One of them tell Victor, "You better hurry along now, because one time you're not going to get out." They get out, and that's like, right, just so...
Henry grabs a piece of clothing that belonged to his wife as well.
Yo, see if Henry died here, right? Obviously it would have been a pretty major death, and it would have obviously affected the episode, and it would have been something worthwhile, but it would have fucking sucked, so I'm glad he lived. But it's like, what is it with Victor spouting pish? Oh, this is going to get us out of here, Victor's a fucking nut job.
Someone needs to turn around and say, look, you're leading us on a wild goose chase. You've got all these theories and all these little missions. Oh, we need to collect this. Oh, the boy in white. What does it fucking lead to? Do you not think, like, Victor, he seems to be focusing on something different? Or there's just nothing substantial or concrete with Victor. It's like, don't get me wrong, it's like, they always, like, tease something interesting. But then it's like they drag it out and then he just seems to move on to something else.
No, I agree. And then
at the beginning, it was, oh, the trees are closing in on us. What happens when the trees what happens when the trees close in onto the houses? Oh, we don't know, because they've just stopped. The focus has been taken away from that. You've got the boy in white. When was the last time Victor mentioned the boy in white?
Years.
What? Feels like years. Doesn't mention the boy in white anymore. You just have the guy like randomly building forts and stuff like this, and one minute he's letting Sarah in, and the next minute he's not letting Sarah in, and then he says to his dad, "You can't come." Then he lets his dad come. Now he's got the doll. Last time he said that the other guy was the way they could get home. It's a bit annoying. It's a guy. I think he's a Fruit Loop. Honey Nut Loops. To me, he doesn't. He's not got the key. He's not got the doorway out of this place.
It's sad though.
If he does, like, what? No, but see if he does, man, he'd sit everybody down, wouldn't you? That's the meeting. See if he was the answer See that meeting they had in the diner? Would he not turn up and go, here, I think I know the reason we can get out of here?
Do you not think they've made him too weird?
Aye, it's like Chucky and Mines, isn't it? It's just, I think he's lost the plot.
And it's sad though, because you're seeing a character, Henry, just follow the guy blindly because it's his son.
Like, why is Henry not questioning? It's like, no, why are we going down to this tunnel? What is it that's down there that you think's worth risking your life that's quick that can get us? Nobody presses him on it. It's Victor's like, here, follow me. I know a way out. And but look at last season with Tabitha. What was that all about?
No.
Oh, the faraway tree, and then she gets it, but like that whole thing was dropped. No, do you not think people just blindly follow Victor without demanding any sort of answers, and then it's like they just move on to something else?
No, I agree. I've seen a lot of theories, and people say that Tabitha is Victor's sister, which to me just doesn't make any sense, because is Tabitha like clearly not like a different race?
Well, let's take the race out of it. How would it make? Well, you think instead of her dying, she managed to escape?
Well, I don't know, but a lot of people are thinking this, and it does get revealed later on when they go to the diner, with Jade after he hallucinates with Tom, the bartender. Fucking oh, why that's great. That she actually imagined this stuff during nightmares and Jade's drawings. There's a bit of symmetry going on there, and it's like, you see this show, right? I think it's got the potential to blow our fucking minds, but it's only dishing out questions. There's no answers.
Yeah, I mean, if this doesn't get a season 4, we're going to be so disappointed, because I don't see things speeding up in the final 4 episodes.
No,
I see things getting slower.
No, I'm not even joking, right? What have we actually learned for like the pilot? And I'm not talking about the premiere season 3. I'm talking pilot. What have we learned about these monsters?
Nothing. Pretty much nothing.
Like, yeah,
we learned Boyd could kill one. But what have we really learned? No, but how many times have we said, it's like, why are they not having regular meetings, like a couple every week or something like that, or at least once a week, where everybody's meeting and they're discussing all the little strange things that they've found, like any drawings, any symbols, any visions. Look at who's that guy that lives in Colony House?
Elgin.
Why is he not discussing any of that shit?
He